Today, we're talking about the second habit is begin with the end in mind. So overall, they have a 7 effective habits. So none of this habit can be built up easily, quick. But you can take your time, get used to it because you all are very young. You have a lot of future ahead of you. So we're trying to put the right seed in your mind, in your heart. So when you grow up, the seed will grow up with you. And in the future, they're going to sprout and become a tree and bear fruit. So this 7 effective habits is very good. And you can buy the book of 7 habit of highly effective teens. Then you can also buy the original book of the 7 habits of highly effective people. And that one is harder to read. I read it 3 or 4 times. It's extremely spiritual, but some of you might enjoy it very much, which is good. Okay. So let's talk about interesting things. First thing. Okay, hold on. You're all probably familiar with sculpture. And this sculpture by the Michelangelo. Okay. Michelangelo, of course, one of the probably famous artists in the human history. He did all the painting, the ceiling, and how the Sistine Chapel, Sistine Chapel, and St. Peter Basilica. Basilica is basically the church, okay, big cathedral building, basilicas in Vatican. And then, of course, this sculpture is Mary and Jesus, and it's located in the St. Peter's Basilica. So this Michelangelo's sculpture. And then he did of course, he did many sculptures. This is another famous one. Who this is? David, okay, King David. While he was young, and here's the left hand hold the, what do you call it? Slingshots. Okay, right hand hold the rock. And his eyes look at Goliath. Say, hey, who are you? Dare to challenge me? I'm the God's servant. I have all the power from God. Even you're 2 times, 3 times bigger than me. No big deal. I'm gonna kill you. So this is a very good very good sculpture. Look at the eyes, and look at his mouth. Look like a little bit grinning, and look down upon the Goliath. Even he look up, we can see his face. Say, hey, I despise you. You're nobody. There's no way you can win the servant against the servant of God. But what's interesting, I want to show you. Well, this sculpture originally is a big granite rock. Okay, big granite rock. Like this. Now, how do they make this a beautiful sculpture out of the granite rock? And when I went to the Florence, Italy, the museum where they show the Davis sculpture, I also showed this one. I also saw this one. It's unfinished sculpture by Michelangelo. I don't know, did this shock you or not? Does it look more like a person walk out of the rock? Is that right? And then actually, this is exactly what Michelangelo say. The figure already exists in that rock. I just chip away those pieces. I stop him from coming out. Is that interesting? So that big rock, inside of the Michelangelo mind, they already have sculpture there, already had a figure there. So everything he does is to chip away. Those pieces stop this figure from coming out of this rock. And that's why you look at it, he keep doing it, look like this person is walking out of the rock and become alive. So that's the artist, good artist work by Michelangelo. So this trying to tell you, even a big rock, you're trying to accomplish such a beautiful sculpture that lasts 1,000 years. You start with a vision inside of this rock. You can see what you want to do. Okay, you can see what you want to do. So in their mind, they already have a beautiful sculptures existing there. Of course, Michelangelo had talent, just like everybody has different talent. But Michelangelo, his talent is art. So in his brain, he had this capability to see things and to make things happen. Okay, this is Michelangelo. And for a lot of architecture, before they build a house, what do? They gotta have a blueprint or have the final house in their minds of what it's gonna look like. And all the detail, am I right? This is what architects do. And this is rendering, okay? It's not a real house, but the computer technology looks so good now. So it looks like a real house. You even have all the furniture inside it, all right? And all the trees are just, they just put it in. Because the computing power is so powerful now, they can do a lot of this beautiful rendering. But after you have this vision, what the house going to look like in every detail, of course, they're artists, they're architects, so they look beautiful. And then, of course, you gotta have a plan. And this is more like an engineering schematic. Draw all the detail, okay, what needs to be done. And the construction worker will follow this plan, okay, schematic, engineering schematic. This is another engineering schematic, okay, it's like we call it section. Front view, back view, all the different view, okay, and all the detail. And this is a final house, okay. This is not rendering now. This is a real house there, okay, the trees, everything. This is a real house. So this tells you another process. If you want to get something done, you need to start with a good picture, good vision in your mind. Okay, this is what you want to do. Then after you have this vision and you start doing the execution, we call the creation process, physically make it happen. Physically make it happen, okay? So this is the process of creation and make things happen. So this is actually in the book of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Think about it. He say all things are created twice. Okay, like house are created twice. Now Michelangelo's sculpture are created twice. Okay, and whatever the essay you're going to write are created twice. Okay, all things are created twice. The first is mentally, right here. Then physically have to happen. So basically, whatever is above physical, we can call spiritual, okay? Because the physical is something you can touch, you can measure, and you can see. The spiritual or mental is something you cannot see, you cannot measure, okay? You cannot weigh it. So the first thing is mentally. You see this here, then physically. The key to creativity, okay, if you want to create anything, begin with the end in mind. Okay, that's what this habit 2 is about. You got to begin with the end in mind. For everything you do in your life, for everything you want to create, for everything you want to make, you have to begin with the end in mind. So, okay, what I'm going to do? No, this is not good enough. This is not good enough. Everything is in your mind first, with a vision and the blueprint of the desired result. Okay, so vision, we'll talk about a little bit later. Basically, you can see it in your mind, mentally picture, and the blueprint, okay? So you can draw it up in your mind. And later, of course, you can put it in the paper. Like all this is a blueprint, okay? All this is a blueprint. So what it's gonna look like, and that's why for the architect, you have to learn all this perspective drawing, okay? From this angle, what it look like, from that angle, what it looks like, okay? So remember, this is a very important word, okay? Important statement. all things are created twice. The first is mentally, then physically. The key to creativity is to begin with the end in mind, with the vision and the blueprint of the desired result. The vision and the blueprint can be on the paper, but always start in your mind first. So what is the vision? The vision actually can say it's a mental picture of the future given by God. So for your life, for your group, for your organization, you have a vision. Oh, I want this group going to be like that. I want my own personal future going to be like that. Okay, 10 years later, I'll be like that. Today, I may be skinny and short, and 5 years later, I want to be like that. Strong and tall. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to practice. I'm going to do a lot of strength training and build up my muscle. This is all about vision. So when those people, bodybuilder, the reason they work so hard because they have a vision. So I'm going to look like that. I'm going to look like this. And here I'm going to build up my muscle. So they can, because they're excited about the vision. And then they start driving hard to do the job. So all the people who succeed in the human history, all because they have a vision, inspire them so much. So they keep working hard to get there. Okay. So this is the mental picture of the future given by God. So this is the definition of vision. Mental picture of the future given by God. Again, you can all repeat with me. What the vision means is the mental picture of the future given by God. So for everything you do, you want to be a very successful and a beautiful, you need a vision. You need a vision. You need a vision. This is a vision by Michelangelo. This is a vision by Michelangelo. The vision becomes the reality and lasts 1,000 years. That was a very good vision. I'm pretty sure Michelangelo, think about this sculpture called Pieta. Think about this Pieta for probably hundreds of days, or maybe in his mind, long time. God opened my heart to write a book, okay, for the last 10 years. I started working on it gradually, but in my mind, always a lot of vision pop up. Okay, how many copy you want to do? What kind of illustration you want to do? Okay, how beautiful the color is going to be. Okay, so this is a vision. I'm keeping building up. Okay, I'll let the God tell me, say, okay, this is a book I want you to write, and this kind of book I want you to write. This kind of artistic presentation I want you to do. So I'm doing that on my book. So the same thing for everything you do. Make sure you have a vision first. Okay, you have a vision first. I think about detail first. As one of this design engineer just walking to my old company, Texas Instrument. So he starts design detail. And his manager said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm designing the circuit." Said, "What are you doing?" "I'm designing the circuit." Say, "No, think about it first, okay? Have a vision first. Okay, have a lot of process in your mind first before you're going to do something. Okay, so same thing for you guys. Gotta have a good habit. Think about it. Come up with a vision. Come up with a plan. Then you execute on it. It can be very quick. Once you have the vision, you have the plan, job can be done very quick. The last thing you want to do, just roll up sleep, start doing something. And I don't think your school train you that way, okay? This is the example when I start working in Texas Instruments as a manager, probably second level manager, only like 15 people work for me. So God gave me the vision. So, okay, this group had to be the most respected and the most prestigious analog mixed signal technology development group in the world. I shaped the future. Wow, you say you have only 15 people. And at that time, Texas Instruments, the mixed signal technology is like ranking the probably number 8, number 9 in the whole world. Now I'm a just inexperienced manager. How can I have this like aggressive vision, the best in the world? What? The God gave me this vision. So guess what happened? I had this vision. So every quarter at a meeting with my people, I gave them this vision. And everything I do, I follow this vision because they have to be the most respected and most prestigious analog signal mixed signal technology development group. What I have to do, every step I take, every person I hire had to match my vision. So I only hire the best of the best, like a PhD master from UC Berkeley, MIT, Stanford, and Georgia Tech, Texas A&M. So I only take every step through this vision. So there's no way I can hire like not smart people and not good academically. No way I'm going to do that, right? Because that doesn't match my vision. So once I have this vision and I have the mission, I want to create a superior signal core competency, the total solution. So TI is a superior leader in wireless market. So I have a mission. The vision is what you can see. Okay, what you can see. Like something already happened. Right? That's what we call mental picture. The mission is your responsibility. What are you going to accomplish? What are you going to do? Okay, make the difference. Okay, so the vision and the mission is different. Mission is more like a responsibility. Okay, so every big company has a mission. I really encourage you to go to the Google search, okay, like a mission for the Apple computer, mission for the Google, a mission for this, mission for that. So every company has their mission. Maybe through the year, the mission are going to change a little bit. But however, the founder of the company always have great mission for the company. And it's very inspiring, very encouraging because if the company with so many people don't have a mission, they don't have a synergy, they don't have the power to drive to the same goal. Okay. But once the mission is clear, and most of the time, not most of the time, almost all the time, the mission is very noble. So I want to make the impact of the world. Like I remember Apple computers, they want to make sure the education could totally change because Apple computer. Okay. So that's what the mission is all about. Same thing for yourself. You can always say, hey, what's the mission for my life? Oh, yeah, I want to be a successful father. I want to make my family very happy. I want to fully utilize my talent. I want to be a successful doctor to take care of a lot of people. I want to make a lot of good friends. Okay, this all can be part of the mission. So next time we can talk about a mission statement, okay, for your life. So what does it mean to begin with the end in mind? To begin with the end in mind means that you start with a clear understanding of your destination. So everything today you're doing for a purpose, for a goal. So you don't have purpose, you don't have a goal. What are you doing? You're just wandering around, get lost. Am I right? You just wander around to get lost, and that's not good for you. So everything you do, begin with the end in mind, that you start with a clear understanding of your destination. And if you do the clear understanding of destination, actually, you should be able to write it down. Okay, write it down in a small index card, put it in front of you. So, okay, for my next 6 months, for my next year, for my 3 year, for my high school, for my college, everything you can write down. And that's your destination. Okay, clear understanding of your destination. And pray about it because a lot of things, God had a plan for you and God wants you to accomplish something. So don't just try to do it with yourself, okay, by yourself. Pray and talk with your parents and brainstorm it, and suddenly you will find this picture getting clearer and clearer. It's just like Michelangelo. Whatever he trying to sculpture it, doing all the sculpture, he just have a mind, this clear picture in mind. So, okay, better and better. What is I going to look like? Then after everything is clear, he started doing the execution part of it. And then as he goes through the execution part of it, God will then fine-tune his vision. Then he get a little bit more detail, a little more detail. Then eventually, King David's sculpture show up. Eventually, the Pieta sculpture show up. And every detail is so impressive. 1,000 years later, millions of people watch it every year. Another good example, everybody knows this. On the left side, used to be a Nokia cell phone. Nokia is the biggest company. They make probably 200 million cell phones a year at that time. 2 to 300 million cell phones a year at that time. They're trying to make sure the cost getting lower and lower, they can make more money. Guess what? While they're trying to dominate this market and make a lot of money, the right-hand product show up. Steve Jobs did the first, we call the iPhone 1. Nothing looked like it. Can you imagine? You know why? Because Nokia make the cell phone as a phone, only to do the voice communication. Add a little bit text message. But guess what happened? Vision for Steve Jobs for phone is totally different. They think about, wait a minute. Phone should be called 3C. You can do communication, you can do consumer, okay, and then you can do computer, okay. So basically say, voice communication is just a very small part of the phone. I can do a lot of other things. So he created this vision. Think about this vision, okay. He said, okay. Actually, at the beginning, he said, I want a phone without a button. So eventually his design engineer said, you gotta have a button to turn on the power. He said, okay, I got it. So then compare with this one, and then he said, okay, because it's application consumer, so I need a lot of application icon there. You can do the map, and you can do the computer, you can do the music, everything. So this is the vision of the iPhone. Guess what happened? In 3 to 4 years, this product is completely gone. And this product take over the whole world. Few hundred million, billion of phones made every year out of like this. We call the wisdom phone. And this one disappeared. So basically, $1 trillion business get torpedoed overnight, disappear. A new $1 trillion business show up. And Nokia lost like I think $50 billion business, something. 40, $50 billion business, just like that. Overnight, it's all gone. Okay. So this is what happened. And actually, this product is a lot more expensive than this product. But does consumer care? No, they want the feature. They want the power. Okay, so that's what happened. So I think today, Apple sells $100 billion of cell phone every year. Okay, wisdom cell phone. It's all because what? Creativity. It's all because Steve Jobs have a vision different from anybody else. Now, who put this vision inside the Steve Jobs brain? I would say Scott put this vision in his brain to make a change for the human society. Then we can all more productive, connect together. Of course, Steve Jobs has a lot of talent, but where the talent come from? God gave to him also. Okay, even he doesn't believe in God, but God still will use the person he wants to use for all the human beings. Okay, so even you read the Old Testament of the Bible, you can find a lot of person who doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in Jehovah, but God wants to use them anyway for the human being. Okay. So this will tell you how powerful a creative vision can make the impact of the human world. Okay. And I'm pretty sure God gives every one of you a different talent also. Not necessarily electronic, not necessarily chemical, anything, architect, everything. So you can be one of the best in the world also, make a huge impact on the world. Okay. So the question, what's the dream job for you in the future? Okay. So you want to have a vision for your future, Dara. So the first thing you have to do is, hey, what's my dream job for you in the future? So I'm trying to go through the what do you call the exercise? Okay, go to the exercise, go to the drill. How to help you to define the vision, how to help you find the vision for your future as a job. Okay. Now, in order to find a job, let's talk about money first. Okay. Every job had to give pay salary. That's what the definition of job. And you work, they pay you money. So if you work and they don't pay you money, that's not job. That's a volunteer. Okay, that's a volunteer work. So this is interesting. In order to talk about money, so saying you graduate from college, and I present this last year. And how much money do you need just for the first job to survive? Okay, I help you calculate. Apartment, $1,400. Utility, $450 for everything, water, internet, TV, phone. Food, $450. Clothing, transportation, your car. You have to pay the car insurance and add the gasoline there. I'm not talking about a good car, it's a regular car. Then you have to pay Social Security tax, Medicare tax. They got to do some entertainment and recreation. You have the medical insurance, 401k, you need to save some money. So total, $4,700 per month. Annual salary, fixed $56,000, 400. Okay, so this is interesting thing. You probably never thought about it. The reason I'm trying to bring this up is when you set up a vision, you gotta have a common sense. You gotta have a common sense. So if you don't have a common sense, then you set up an unrealistic vision. And Steve Jobs built the vision for iPhone 1 because I have so much background on computer, entertainment, animation, music. He's one of the few real person have a talent, all kind of talent in entertainment, computer, music, everything. Okay, God equipped him to do that job. That's why he had that kind of vision. But whatever he done based on his spirit is realistic. It's not like a dream in the sky cannot happen. Okay. So you're trying to build a vision for your job. You have to find the first realistic number yet. Okay. How much do you really need to survive? We're not even talking about live an easy life, luxury life. Just to survive, you gotta have annual salary of $56,000. So how much different job get paid? Teacher in Texas get paid $40,000. Accountant, $50,000. Web programmer, $55,000. CPA, $65,000. This is all beginning salary, okay. An IC design engineer, $75,000. Test engineer, $65K. Policeman, $50K. Human resource, $40K. Of course, for every job have a big spectrum. Okay, I'm just using the starting salary fundamental. Okay, a social worker get to pay the least. Okay, 35K. Industrial engineer, 55K. Architect, 50K. Supply chain management, 65K. Database management is higher, $85,000. Computer system administrator, $75,000. Pharmacists pay $130,000. All the pharmacists are doctors now. Occupational therapist, starting salary is $65,000. Family doctor, $200,000. Emergency room doctor, cardiologist, anesthesiologist, MBA, civil engineer, lawyer. So all the different jobs at different pay. So this is a capitalistic environment now. So we measure people most of the time as a job, a profession. We use the money because money is give it a way to value people, okay, to value your job. So what job you want to do before you set a vision, you have to understand what's realistic environment you have to get into it. So it's not a good idea to say, oh, I love this job, but it doesn't get paid much, so I cannot survive. I have to live with my parents. Okay. So that's not realistic. That's not realistic. It doesn't mean you cannot do it, okay, but that's not realistic. Or sometimes like some of you say, I want to be a musician. And you don't get paid much, or you don't get paid at all in the first few years. So after a long time's journey, you might be able to get paid very high salary. But the first few years, 5, 10 years, what are you going to do? Okay. So when you put in your vision, you need to include all those realistic environments. You say, I want to be another Taylor Swift. Nothing wrong with that. But Taylor Swift went through like a 15-year to 20-year journey, become so famous, so popular. Okay. And she showed her talent as early, very early, before, I think before 10 years old. And later at the teen, her parents moved the whole family to Tennessee, trying to get into that environment because they have a vision. They have a vision. Taylor Swift is going to be one of the most popular singer in the whole world. So they just moved the whole family and to Tennessee and get all the music industry, get all the musicians surround her so she can learn so much. And then her talent, plus a good vision from her parents and all the execution, make her to be the biggest star in this whole world now. Okay. She's having that like a concert tour now. You couldn't believe how much money she impact the economy. They're talking about billion of dollars for the tour, global tour. Okay. They started with a good talent God gave to her, good vision, her parents had for her, and execution plan. Every step. So it take like probably 15 years to make the biggest star in the whole world. Okay? It's not like it just pop up like that. It's not at all. Okay. So vision with realistic variable factor in. So this one I'm trying to tell you. Okay, in order to have a vision for your job, today you don't have to rush for it. Okay, I'm just trying to put this idea in your mind. So okay, job as a profession, you gotta have a vision for your future. Because when you go to the high school, you go to the college, the purpose for all this education and training is to have a job, match your talent, and give you a good living. And maybe you can make a lot of money to impact the world and give away to help others needy. Okay, this is why we really want you to be a leader. Because as a leader, as a manager, you get a lot more pay. And if you have a company belong to yourself and go to the IPO, you can probably make $100 million, $200 million. And you can really do a lot of good things. Okay. With God's grace, give you a lot of money, you can really do a lot of good things. The vision with realistic variable factor in. You're trying to say, okay, what kind of job I want to do? You got to make sure that, hey, what is your talent? What's your potential to be the best in the world? Because everything you do, I like to help you to be the best in the world. Like I was talking about vision and mission for my R&D group in Texas Instruments. 15 years later, we become the best in the world. Everybody knows our group, and they all admire our group. All the good people like to join our group. Take 15 years. Okay, I'm nobody. And I started with a very small group, but take 15 years to be the best in the world. So you got to understand your talent and your potential. You got to understand your passion. You're willing to work hard on this. And of course, how much money is going to make. and you have to enjoy the working environment. You like to sit in the office, or you like to work remote, or you like to travel around the world. So different jobs have different working environment. And you got to understand your personality. Are you introverted or you're extroverted? If you're extroverted, maybe it's very good to be a marketing person, salesperson. Okay, if you're introverted, maybe it's not a good idea. Better maybe do the research, scientist, engineer. Okay. And your future spouse, you say, why? I have nothing to do about the future spouse, about my job. It's very important, Dara. If you're very interested to have a job, doesn't get much pay. Maybe it's a good idea you have a spot and share the financial burden. So two people share the one house or one apartment. It's much better you're living by yourself. Am I right? So suddenly you cut the cost by half. Okay, then you double your salary basically as a whole family. So as a job, you have to think about your spouse, your family. And then you have to talk about you want to be a leader. Do I have a potential to be a leader? And then you have to think about evolution, technology, social structure change, and dynamic of the business model. Because business model changed. All the Google changed the business model. Amazon changed the business model. Okay, and UPS changed the business model. So it's very important you understand, you have a common sense about what happened going this world. Like 30 years, 40 years ago, we would seldom hear about the delivery to your house, about the food, about any product you buy. It's almost never heard about it. We have to go to the shop to buy. We have to go to the retail shop. We have to take our car to this workshop. But today, probably more than 50% things come to your house through Amazon, UPS, Federal Express, USPS, and all the other delivery services. So many people working at delivery service. So the whole world keep changing. Okay. But this moment, I'd like to have a teacher Sheena. Teacher Sheena, are you there?
Yes.
Can you do some comment, please?
Yeah. So I think what Ming you mentioned earlier about having a passion in what you do is critically important because that would help us focus our energy and focus on our strength.
Yeah, that's good. Teacher Sheena is currently our general counsel in our DAO company. That's basically the top counsel person or the top legal person in the company. Okay, so let me go to the next one. This is important. I already told you many times. You have to live a successful life. So far, after I talked to hundreds of thousands of people, I never hear one person say, no, I don't want to live a successful life. I want to be a loser. And no such thing. Okay. Everybody, I think God made us. Everybody want to be a successful person. So what the definition of successful life based on Bible? Because we can only define success based on Bible. Otherwise, while we live our life, it's not going to make God happy. If you don't make God happy, you're in trouble because He's control the whole universe. He gives you all the talent. He gives you all the capability. If you don't follow His instruction, you're going to be in trouble. So fully develop and utilize talent given by God. Always remember this, okay? Because very important for you to have a vision for your life. This is a principle. This is a guideline. You have a talent, you have to utilize it. You have a lot of talent, okay? Most of people probably only utilize 5%, 10% of their talent God gives to them. You have to fully develop and utilize the talent given by God, as well as resource God has supplied to you. Okay, God give you a lot of resources. God give you water, God give you air, God give you oil, God give you solar energy, God give you all the chemical components, God give you semiconductor. So God give a lot of resources. You have to use it. And you have to fulfill God's plan for you on earth. Like Steve Jobs, God had a plan for his job on earth. And I have an assignment from God to fulfill my plan, God's plan for me on earth. And to manifest God's glory, the whole purpose to show God's glory. I want you to fully understand. The whole purpose of you and me exists here today. You have so much talent and you can do so much good things. You have different kind of personality. The only reason is God wanted to show his glory. So you made a lot of money and you're just trying to be selfish, enjoy your life. That's not God's glory. But if you have a lot of money, you're a leader, you make a lot of money, you keep trying to give away, help the needy, you show God's glory. Because love is God's glory. Okay. To manifest God's glory by doing goodness and make this world a better place in God's kingdom. Okay. So this whole world needs to belong to God's kingdom. Now, how do we do it? Have to go through salvation of Christ. So you accept Jesus, you go through salvation of Christ, and you make this world God's kingdom. So the life in this world, your job, everything is spiritual. Everything is connected to God. So if you connect to God closely, you will have a very successful, very joyful, and very happy life. And you can make a lot of money. Okay, making money is not wrong at all. If you make money to show God's grace, to show God's glory, and to show your capability, and that's very good, very good. Okay, so this is a big picture. Okay, so we have to show you the big picture, the big vision of success. Then we have to show you what kind of vision you need to take for the job. So let's go through this now. So this is called hierarchy. So how to get from here to there without going anywhere? It's very important, Dara. You have the ultimate goal, then you have a midterm goal, you have a near future goal. So how to get from here to there? You don't have a vision, you don't have the first level, second level, lower level goal, and you will go anywhere. That's right. So you have to get from here to there without going anywhere. This is what there's an interesting story. A student asked the teacher, say, "Hey teacher, which way should I go for my life?" And teacher asked him question back, say, "Okay, what do you want to be?" And student say, "I don't know." And the teacher answers, "Oh, so it doesn't matter wherever you go, because you don't even know where you're going to be." Is that right? So you can only know who do you want to go because you have a goal, you have a vision, you have a destination. So otherwise, you're going anywhere. Okay, but you have to go from here to there, and there have your destination, have your goal. The end destination always have successful life. In order to have a successful life, you need to have a job, match your talent, match your passion, match the environment you like to live, match your personality. And then after you know which job you want to go. Not today, okay, because a lot of times it's too young for you. But you can keep experiencing, keep exploring it, and keep finding it, okay? Keep searching it. So this is why you can see, okay. Good plan leads to good result. Bad plan leads to bad result. No plan leads to no result. This is very popular talking in the industry, okay. Everything you do, you need a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're not gonna have result. Good plan leads to good result. Bad plan leads to bad result. No plan leads to no result. So whatever you do, always ask yourself, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan? Like if you want to go from Texas to New York, the first thing you have to have a big picture. That's more like our successful life. Okay, what is successful life? You have big picture. Oh, I know where Texas, I know where New York. New York is the upper right. So after I go to New York, say if I want to go to New York City, okay, so I need to what the New York State looks like. Then after New York State looks like, I say what the New York City looks like. So every step you have a goal, every step you have a destination, every step you have a vision. Okay, every step. So after I give you the destination vision ought to be, what is success? What is a successful life? Then you need to go to the next vision. Okay, in order to go to a successful life, what's the successful job I need to get? What kind of job do I need to get? After get a job, say, okay, in order to find a good job, how do I equip myself as a high school student, as a college student? I don't know which job I like to have. So what are the information I need to collect first? How do I explore? How do I find out exactly what the job really fit me? There's so much information that Google can help you, but you have a clear goal, and that every step you take will take you to that goal. Okay. So this is why I want to do the homework on this one now. What do you want to achieve in the coming school year? Okay, so in a year later, what's the vision about yourself? Of course, you're going to grow taller, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be smarter. Well, what does it look like? What does it look like? Okay, are you going to be a straight A student? Are you going to be better in the basketball or volleyball or soccer or tennis or swimming? What is your vision about end of the school year you're going to be? What are the top 3 things you have to do to get there? You cannot just say, oh, I want to be the straight A student. You don't do nothing. No, you cannot do that. Oh, if I want to be a straight A student, what I do? I need to study harder. But I still want to swim. I still want to have a good time. Then how can I make my study more efficient? Oh, do I have some method? I can be more efficient. I can tell you how to do that. Okay, if you have interest, you can ask me later. And you can ask your friends, wait a minute, you have straight A, how did you do that? Okay, the last thing you want to do is just study hard, and don't have time to sleep, don't have time to play, don't have time to exercise. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to be very efficient. Okay, actually, let's go to the very detail about the destination and the vision. So for every class you go, if you want to learn something, the best thing is to understand first, before you even have the class, what the teacher going to teach. So actually you already have a destination and a vision before you go to the class, am I right? Spend 5-10 minutes, flip through the textbook and understand what the teacher tried to teach. So that means actually for today's class, I already have a vision. I've already end in mind what I'm going to learn. Then I go to the class and teacher teach everything. You already have a vision. You already have an end in mind, am I right? Then you know exactly what the teacher trying to teach. I was stupid before. I go to the class, I don't know what the teacher want to teach. So the whole class, I waste my time. I think a lot of you are doing the same thing. You're wasting your time in the classroom, and then you go home study. That's the worst way you can learn. You always spend 5-10 minutes, flip through the textbook, trying to understand what teacher's trying to teach. Then during the class, you ask questions all the time because you already know what's going on. So you must have a question. And then teacher will ask you a question. Suddenly you understand the whole thing in that 1 hour class. Then immediately after the class, if you have a time, start doing the homework because that's the best time to refresh our memory. So after you're doing these 3 things, guess what? You already become one of the best in that class. Until it's not hard to get A at all. I didn't do that. I was stupid. I didn't prepare. I sit in the classroom. I didn't listen. I didn't do the homework right after. But I had to spend 10 times more effort in order to get A. And that's not smart. Am I right? So this is again, even take a class, even learn a lesson. It's very smart thing to have an end in mind. Okay. Everything you do, you start with end in mind. Okay. Then the homework for the 3rd one, detail about how to make those 3 things happen. Have a plan. What I just tell you is one of the plan you can do. If you have academic excellence in your vision, okay, you say, Okay, one of the plans, I need to prepare for the class 5-10 minutes or maybe the night before. And I'm going to listen to the class, ask all the questions. Then I'm going to write a homework right after the classroom. And this, I think, should be, okay, one of your top 3 things you have to do to get there. Okay. I think one of the vision, at least your parent will love it very much, is I want a straight A. I want to hit straight A for this year. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay. Because God give you talent. God don't want you to waste time. Don't learn nothing. Okay. So this homework, and then in the chat room, you have my email address, and you can write down the homework and send to my email, and then I will review it. And if you have any question, you can put in the email the homework. Take your time to do it. Okay, you have a whole week to do it, and I'm pretty sure this will help you in the future to be a very successful leader. Okay, very successful leader. Okay, so I have a end of my talk. Any question you can put in the chat room. Anybody, or you can open. Can you send the email in the chat? Yeah, I already put it here. My email address is mingchen1@gmail.com. That's the first thing I do before I even teach a class. Okay, you see it? mingchen1@gmail.com.